B minor, now we have a bar chord. We called this a bar chord before, and we used just the bottom 4 strings. Now we're going to use our first finger to play the 5th string and the 1st string. So what's going to happen is we're going to use our first finger, and we're actually going to bar the whole neck of the guitar with our first finger. So this looks more like a bar chord, because on bar chords we typically play 5 or 6 strings. We don't always play just the bottom 4 like we did on the B minor, but we can play it where we play most of the strings on the guitar. Now we're not going to play the 6th string in this chord, so we can either try to not touch it when we strum, or we can just touch the top string, the 6th string, with our first finger, which is kind of an advanced thought, to be able to play the 5th string to the 1st string and to be able to touch the 6th string intentionally without making it sound. So we want it just to mute. But that's going to help in the future when we play B minor and we want to play it really full. So we can play it fast, and we can not hit the 6th string. But if we're just playing the 5th string without that first finger touching it, when we have to watch our hand and make sure that we control it to where we don't touch the 6th string. Otherwise we have an E playing like this, and that kind of ruins the simplicity of the chord. It kind of gives it's just not a B minor anymore. So with B minor, we want to make sure we play the 5th string through the 1st string, and we're going to bar this whole fret with the first finger. So that's going to hurt, and you're going to say, what are you doing to me? And I'm going to basically suggest that this is a chord that we're going to practice on and work on. And I told you that in week 6 when we learned the B minor the first time. This was going to be a bar chord that we were going to play. And the deal with the bar chord, the B minor, is we can move this anywhere we want. And so we can play it anywhere, and it's interchangeable and movable. And so when we start learning these, it will take time to learn them. It may take you a month or 2 months to really be able to play this chord. And so I just want you to be familiar with it. I'm showing it to you on week 8, the full one, so that you don't have to sit through class and try to learn it. You can sit through your television show as many times as you want, or you can sit through whatever you want to sit through and practice playing that chord on your own. We're just going to be practicing our finger playing the whole fret on the 2nd fret for B minor. So 2nd fret is where we're going to bar our first finger all the way from the 5th string to the 1st string, and we want it to be able to push down on that string. And it's going to take some time, so you can give yourself a month to 2 months working on this chord and just practicing. Don't stress out about it. Just practice pushing that down when you can, about 5 minutes of your lesson. I try to challenge myself anytime I sit down when I'm practicing, maybe 5 minutes of the 15 minutes that I practice, or 2 minutes of the 15 minutes that I practice. But don't do that the full time, because you'll just get discouraged. So practice something that you enjoy, and then end up the lesson with challenging yourself, so next time that you sit down, it might be a little bit easier playing that chord, okay? So we'll do the B minor, the bar chord. We're going to try that here. 5th string through the 1st string. Again, I don't expect you to have it down after this week. That's why we're playing it on week 8, so that you can practice it after the class is over, and maybe when you join the intermediate class, you'll be ready with the B minor. So, because we'll have a few weeks of a break in between if you're joining the class, or if you're actually just going through the DVD on your own. Regardless, you could pick up on week 1 of the intermediate book or the intermediate class that's nearest you. If you want to go sign up for one, you could just go to igniteguitar.com and check and see what the available classes are, and then we will hopefully see you in the future. So anyway, but B minor is the last chord that we'll learn. Let's try that. If you've been taking a break, put your fingers back up. We'll use our first finger. It's going to bar the 5th string through the 1st string. We're going to play our 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 4th string, 4th fret, then 4th finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Okay, so let's play that together. It looks similar to this B minor we did before, where we had our first finger on the 1st string. Now we're going to play first finger on the 5th and the 1st string. So let's play that B minor together. 1, and we're going to play the strum pattern from the last week that we used 1, 2, and 3, 4, and so it's 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 great. Keep practicing, keep working on that. Now we're going to switch to C major. So think about C major. That was one of the first chords we learned. We're going to play the full C though, not the one that we learned on the first week. The full C, which was like week 3. Alright, so C major, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and switch to C. 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3. Okay, we're going to go back to B minor one more time. So remember, we're barring the 3rd fret, so take your bar to the 1st fret first, and we'll switch. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. That's actually C sharp. That's C minor. We're going to do that again. So we're going to do C. And we're going to switch to B minor. So even your teacher can mess up. It is possible. All things are possible when you're teaching the lesson. Alright, so C to B minor. It's okay to mess up, but just fix your make sure you correct it. Go to B minor. We're barring the 2nd fret, not the 3rd fret. Ready, 2, ready, and switch. Okay. So I'm putting my 1st finger down, my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger as I can. If you haven't got there yet, just work at it to get there and start strumming when you get there. 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. My hand's getting tired. 3. So yours is 2, I'm sure. Last time, 2 and 3, 4, and stop. Awesome. Great. So we'll stop. Well, now we'll do the same thing we do because my fingers are actually sore. I'll stretch my fingers a little bit. I'm not going to do any biting of my fingernails, but if you need to do that, bite the end of your fingers, you can do that. But you can see that I've got calluses on my fingers. So I've got little divots in my fingers, and you're probably starting to get divots in your fingers. But mine will kind of just stay there for a little while because it's used to having calluses. And eventually your fingers will also kind of crevice, and they won't really come back for a little bit. It'll kind of stay. And my whole 1st finger is a little bit red because it's used to being calloused on the whole part of my flat part of my 1st finger. So that'll get more common for you as you play the chords. So don't get discouraged. Just keep working at it, and you'll eventually be able to play the B minor and the full bar chord that way. Okay, so let's do drill 1 on page 44.